is the capacity for doing work. It may exist in potential, kinetic, thermal, electrical, chemical, nuclear, or other various forms. Energy in the process of transfer from one body to another. Hence, heat transferred may become thermal energy, while work done may manifest itself in the form of mechanical energy. All forms of energy are associated with motion. For example, any given body has kinetic energy if it is in motion. A tension device such as a bow or spring, through at rest, has the potential for creating motion. It contains potential energy because of configuration. If a body is in static state, then it contains potential energy, but when it is thrown, then its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. A simple cotton film. Consistent simple explanation on the difference between potential and kinetic energy.
Do you know what is energy? Yes, you are right. Energy is the ability to do work. Okay, there are many sources of energy. For example, sun, wind, water, etc. And yes, energy also comes from your muscles. Let me tell you a secret. Do you know energy cannot be created or destroyed? It can only be stored or transferred. All energy in this world exists in two forms. One is called potential energy and the other is called kinetic energy. Remember, potential energy is stored energy in the object, whereas kinetic energy is energy of motion. Let's see few examples of potential energy. Have you seen a catapult? It has so much stored energy that it can throw stones to distant places. Also, look at this big rock on the slope. If it falls down, it can do a lot of damage. It has a lot of potential energy, which means a lot of stored energy. There are three types of potential energy. Let's look at each type. See, this stone on the top of the mountain has gravitational potential energy. This is also called potential energy of an object due to its position. Now look at this. This is due to stored energy of the spring. This is a battery. This contains chemical potential energy. It can light a bulb. Now let's look at kinetic energy. See this? The stone is falling down. Now it has kinetic energy. The potential energy has changed into kinetic energy. Now look at this pendulum. It shows clear example of potential and kinetic energy. If you hold the pendulum on one side, it has potential energy. But as you release it, the potential energy gets converted to kinetic energy. So stored energy and motion energy. It is stored energy and motion energy. Remember, potential energy is stored energy in the object, whereas kinetic energy is energy of motion.
When an object covers equal distance in equal time interval is called uniform motion, whereas when an object covers unequal distance in equal time interval is called non-uniform motion. Rate of motion of an object is to find out the distance traveled by the object in unit time is referred as speed.
First of all, how will you define the speed of an object moving along some path? The speed of an object is the distance traveled by an object over the time it takes to complete that distance. Say the distance d is 20 kilometers and the time it takes to cover this distance is 4 hours. What will be the speed of the car then? Yes, the speed will be 20 over 4, that's 5 kilometers per hour. Look at the value carefully. What does it tell us? Does it mean that our object traveled 5 kilometers in every hour? Or in other words, does the value of speed say that the object traveled at a constant speed? Well, we know for a fact that the car does not magically start directly at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Its speed gradually increases. So if the car was starting from this point, then its speed cannot be constant. What if this was not the starting point of the car? Well, we still cannot say whether the speed was constant or not. Because maybe the car was slow in the first half of the journey and then sped up in the second half. The given data does not imply in any way that the car will cover 5 kilometers in every hour. So if this is not a constant speed, then what is the speed called? This speed is called average speed. Average speed is defined as the total distance covered by an object over the total time taken. So in our example, we are given a total distance that the car travels and the total time taken by it to cover that distance. And hence we calculated the average speed of the car for the entire journey.
The formula are as follows. Speed equals distance divided by time. Distance equals speed times time. Time equals distance divided by speed. Thank you for watching.